Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's official prices. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so we've got this week's official prices, starting here with Warcry Nightmare Quest. So this is an interesting set right here. This is coming in at $185 USD, right in line with the previous expansions for this series. And at $185, the way I like to break down these sets is each of the warbands that comes in the set is going to be $60 a piece. So if you're after those two warbands, which I am because I like to collect the Warcry warbands, it's $120 for those two. So at $185, that means there needs to be another $65 in value here in the set. And the books from these sets, when they are available, sell for about $45. The Realmscaper engine is $65 for that piece of terrain right there. And then, of course, this set has two trees with the walkways and then the scatter terrain. So I'm looking at this as buying the two Warcry warbands for $60 a piece and then buying the Realmscaper engine, and that puts me at $185. So I'm basically getting the book, the trees, and the scatter terrain for free. Not the most amazing set, not the greatest value we've ever seen from Games Workshop, but it is a nice set. It is the fourth box from the season, and there's definitely some value in here. So I'm going to be picking up Nightmare Quest. Definitely looking forward to the new warbands. And then I'm going to do a mass terrain painting session where I paint up all of the terrain from the season all at once. And from there, I should have a nice collection that could play for D&D, Warcry, even Sigmar. Definitely some cool options. And as far as the warbands are concerned, I do actually really like these warbands. I know a lot of people are kind of like done with Stormcast just because there's been so much of them in so many boxes. But I do like these models. They have pretty cool dynamic poses. But one thing I did notice about this set, it appears to be just 3 models and then a couple of options. So looking at these actual Stormcast models, we could tell that this extended left, well, it's left looking at it, but it's the right leg of the model. It's like extended real straight. And then this one is bent and standing on a rectangular stone. And we can see here, that's that same leg right there. And then the rectangular stone right here. So these two models are actually the same model, just with different arms and head on them. And then if we look right here as well, we can see, look at the posture of this right leg, the kind of like fish scale armor right here. And then our left leg and cloak hanging down on the side. And then here we see the cloak, the fish scale, and obviously, once again, the exact same model, just with some different weapons. And then finally, looking down here, we see the fish scale armor with the knife. And then, of course, the same thing right here. So in all reality, the 6 Stormcast models that come in this set appear to be a sprue of 3 models with a couple of variant accessories, and then just a duplicate of that same sprue. So interesting. Definitely caught me by surprise when I noticed this, that there's only 6 models and there's redundancy. Definitely felt lazy. I do like the little accessories, and you're obviously going to end up with some extra weapons. This is like a cool little relic. I really like the big old blade right here. So there's definitely some cool bits that are going to be in there, but a little bit surprised that Games Workshop would basically use duplicate for a 6 model set. And then if we zoom over to these guys, again, I like this warband, and I did spend just a little bit of time glancing at these to see if the issue is the same, and it's not. These appear to all be completely unique models, and honestly, I'm looking forward to the rules on this as well, because they do add a lot of character and would be cool in a Flesh Eater's Court's army. But yeah, I was definitely surprised when I noticed that this is basically just 3 models repeated with some extra bits. And that is definitely a little bit disappointing. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch, and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit cmogames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. So moving on from there, we have the Askurgan Trueblades, and in typical Warcry Warband fashion, these guys are $60. I do really like the aesthetic of this warband. I haven't actually painted mine yet, as the list is long and the hours are short, but these guys are pretty awesome. They're sort of a combination between vampires and werewolves. I really like it. The story behind them is cool. The models are cool, unique. They fit in the Warhammer Age of Sigmar world, but definitely have a unique look to them. And they go awesome in the Soulblight Gravelords as well. So very, very cool. $60 for these, and they do come with your cards and all that good stuff as well. And then finally this week we have the Claws of Karanak. Again, just a wonderful warband. Very, very cool models. They have great Khorne aesthetic going on. I do love that they are worshiping the Warhounds. Very neat aesthetic. Nice detail on these models. Look like they would be really, really fun to paint. Definitely looking forward to mine. The rules for these two warbands were just a little bit meh, in my opinion. They actually had a lot of the same rules between the two warbands, which I thought was strange, especially with so many different warbands and abilities and all kinds of stuff out there for them to pick from. I did think it was a little bit lazy for them to reuse a lot of the same abilities between two warbands in the same set. So it's $60 a set. These warbands are definitely cool. They come with your ability and fighter cards. Awesome new sculpted models and definitely some sweet character. Neither one of these warbands is going to be breaking the game anytime soon, because the models are awesome, but the rules are definitely a little bit on the underwhelming side. So yeah, that is it for today's official prices. Only a few items coming directly from Games Workshop. Obviously, we see the upgrade stuff getting flushed out with forgeworld, and we're going to see some plastic upgrades available for their resin vehicles in the future. Some stuff coming from Black Library as well. But honestly, I was super excited for Nightmare Quest and definitely looking forward to the set. But it was definitely a little bit of a slap in the face when I noticed that of these 6 models, that there's only actually 3 poses, and then we're just swapping out heads and arms. That definitely felt really lazy. I'm not sure exactly why Games Workshop did it. We'll have to see when the actual sprues show up. I have a feeling it's just going to be 2 of the exact same small sprue, instead of the other warbands where you basically get like the 3-piece sprue. But we'll see. I'm not sure what's going on with Games Workshop. The whole entire Warcry season and a lot of Kill Team also felt pretty lazy. And I get if they're only really going to do like one run out of these boxes, that they want to get as much use out of a mold as they can. But I hope this isn't the beginning of a trend going forward. Because one thing that's so great about Games Workshop is just how many unique poses and cool ways you can build your stuff. We've seen it a lot in the past with like the necromunda kits, where each model has a base body and then like 2 different ways that you can build the model. That should give it a good look. And overall, they do a pretty good job. The redundancy isn't as blatantly obvious as it is maybe with this set here. And I'm sure if they're doing it to try to be more efficient. So if they're going to be able to use 1 mold to make 6 guys instead of 2 molds, obviously that saves them a bunch of money. And as long as they make the models look cool and at least kind of unique, so it's not as blatantly recognizable as these, I don't think it's necessarily an issue. And maybe it's only because it's 6 models and 3 of them are duplicates that it seems a little bit strange. But I really hope that Games Workshop is not going to be leaning in more on this kind of lazy way to create models. Because the one thing that they do better than everybody else is make models. There's other companies that make good models. There's lots of companies that make good games. And while Games Workshop games are really fun and really popular, they're definitely not the best rule sets. So if Games Workshop is going to keep leaning in on the IP and the quality of models that they produce, they better not start slacking on the quality of models. So let me know what you guys think down below. It's probably not nearly as big a deal as it is to me for most people. It's just something that I noticed and I just thought was a little bit lazy. If it would have been 10 models, I'm not sure I would have even really cared if 5 of them were duplicates and you just swapped out the heads and weapons and stuff. But for a 6 model set that's essentially valued at $60 and really like half of a box set was definitely a little bit disappointing. So let me know what you guys think down below. Always like to hear your opinions. If you are interested in any of this week's pre-orders or Games Workshop products, check out CMO Games. Special thanks to them for sponsoring the video. link in the description. So that's it for today. This week's official prices, Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I hope Games Workshop isn't going to keep getting more lazy. And I'm out of here.